Hi, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I have to start this video off by thanking you so much for your support on my comeback video, your kind comments, all the positivity there. I cannot thank you enough. So this is definitely not the video you're expecting. I did remember to remove it. It's still a surprise. I am not doing any unboxings today. I am still waiting for one of the bags to come because we did carry on. I could not get those home with me. I did come home with a watch. I was not letting that get shipped. Well, they wouldn't ship it anyways, but I did come home with a watch. So I am doing a cooking video for you today. I asked all of you with the last one what y'all thought about the format of how I had the camera, and everybody, I think maybe one person wanted to see me chop things, and I do explain why I don't do that, because I don't have a tripod that would work that way. And when you watch, I watch a lot of cooking shows. When I watch the cooking channels, I think they have somebody filming for them most of the time, just because the angles that they're on top of the pot and this and that. So this is just the easiest way for me. So I have 3 super simple recipes for you, and I hope that you enjoy some of them. I am going to pop in a tour of my garden. It's just been raining and raining and raining and raining and raining, and it finally stopped. So I was like, okay, I still don't have any equipment out other than a very inexpensive ring light and my iPhone. So hopefully you can see me okay, because I was trying to wait till there was some natural light to come in. But I am going to share my garden with you. It has kind of been, like I said in that other video, a little pummeled by this rain, but some of it's doing really, really good. And anyways, let me know down below if you like any of the recipes, if you're going to try any of the recipes, and let's get into it with breakfast right now. So this is a treat breakfast. This is not something that I do very often. I have toasted 2 slices of bread, and I am going to use some smoked salmon and a little bit of cream cheese, egg whites. I'm just gonna put scrambled eggs on top of it. I'm gonna go to the garden right now and chop some chives. I can't take you with me because I can't hold this and chop the chives. So these are garlic chives, which I have never heard of before. I just snipped some out of the garden, and they do smell like garlic. I could not find chives anywhere when I was doing my garden, and my girlfriend was so sweet. She found some and brought me 3 containers of them. So I'm just going to cut them up with these scissors. I washed these, of course, before and after. It is such a trip. They really do smell like garlic. I've used them this summer, but usually in conjunction with basil or parsley, so I haven't noticed the scent being quite as strong. So I'm going to put 2 eggs into this bowl with some egg whites and get those to scrambling with a little bit of this avocado oil. So I have my eggs, and I'm just going to pour in just a little splash of egg whites, get that beaten together. Lid on, toaster's already put away. I have OCD, the toaster has to get put away. So just whip these up. And when I get them to a lemony yellow color, I am ready to put these into the pan. It is hard to cook with one hand, y'all. So I have spread a thin layer of the cream cheese onto the toast. And in case you missed that, that is chive and onion. And then I'm just gonna put a slice of smoked salmon on each one. And I guess I could have turned on my overhead light over the stove so you could see this better. But just get these eggs going here. There we go. And they don't take very long, and you really want to take them off before you think they're done, because they will keep cooking in the hot pan, depending on what your consistency that you like. I do not add any milk, any water, any cream, anything like that to my scrambled eggs. I just use eggs. So you can see the eggs are almost there. I don't like them too dry and I don't like them wet either. So I like them cooked. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay, so the heat is off and I'm just going to spoon some on top of here. Let's see if I can do this looking through the phone at the same time. It's not as easy as you think to look through the iPhone and try to do this stuff. Let's do the other one here. Oh, this smells so good. Normally the salmon, I forgot to tell you that, they were little slivers. Usually they're in like bigger strips than that. So a little extra spilled on the side there, and I am just going to sprinkle this with the chives. Isn't that pretty? So yummy too. Let me cut into it. Try a bite for you. Okay, let's see how it tastes. That is really, really, really good. It's a treat for sure. I don't do it very often, but oh, that's good. Okay, y'all, so tonight's dinner is going to be similar to the chicken sheet pan, except for I am making salmon tonight, which I hope my husband likes because I am making it very, very simple. He just started eating fish like 2 weeks ago, and I've made many elaborate sauces. I'm going to show you my favorite way to make it. If he doesn't like it, he can dip it in ranch. But I'm just going to cut up a few vegetables. My hands are wet. I just washed them. And I'm going to add some cherry tomatoes on the top. I'll show you those in just a second. Okay, so I have it all chopped up. When I asked y'all in my last video if you were okay with this format, almost all of you said yes. I don't have a tripod that I can turn it around so I can show me chopping and doing all of that. And I'm not really sure I want to invest in any more equipment right now anyways. So you all know how to chop. But anyways, I just do them pretty bite-sized. Sadly, the squash and the zucchini are not from our garden. It got pretty pummeled with storms, but it seems to be coming back for the squash and the zucchini. I may end up needing a bigger sheet pan than this one, but this one is perfect for the salmon. They do not cook together like the chicken because they cook for different times. So I've got out my lemon and my garlic. I have salt here, olive oil, and I like to put this on my veggies, but any seasoning that you like is absolutely fine. So I am going to add, these are all from our garden. These are from our garden just today. I am going to take the little stems off and add a whole bunch of these. You do not even need to cut them in half. They will just burst open in the oven. These are the best ones, and I cannot remember what these ones are called, but these are just your typical cherry tomatoes. But yeah, we got a whole lot of them. So that would be, oh, we got a random one sitting here in the bunny rabbit. So yeah, I'm gonna use those tonight. Okay, so the veggies did fit on the half sheet pan. You can see I added all the tomatoes, and I just used that Morton's Nature seasoning, a little salt, and a little bit of olive oil. This is gonna go in before the salmon. The salmon takes about 10 to 12 minutes to cook. This takes anywhere between 20 to 30 to cook. The salmon that I am using is fillets that were frozen from Costco. I usually buy the big fresh, y'all saw that before, the big fresh, I can't show you with my hands, from here to here, fillet, and then I cut that into pieces and freeze it. The last time that I showed that, it had the skin on. I have never found that again, but we're just gonna use these tonight because I only have one piece of that, the one that I cut fresh left. So I have just a small amount of melted butter This is my citrus juicer. I'm going to use half of a lemon. I have 2 garlic cloves that are peeled, and I'm just going to grate them over with a microplane. So I'm just going to sprinkle the salmon with a little bit of salt, not too much. Then I'm going to brush the melted butter on. It's amazing. I've always done this with olive oil, and butter just gives it a much better flavor. Same calorie-wise, not quite the same health-wise, but oh well, it's delicious. Okay, so now I am gonna get those lemons squeezed, or the half of the lemon squeezed, and then grate that garlic. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that lemon juice on. My husband is helping me with this part, and then I just need to get the garlic on there. So I'm putting the veggies in first and on the lower rack, and they're gonna take about 20 minutes, and then the salmon about 10. And I have it on 400 convect bake. So you can see the garlic, it's just kind of turns into like a paste. And then when the oven beeps, I will pop this in. Okay, so putting the salmon in. Hubby was nice enough to help me. And now we are going to set the timer. It gets fuzzy for a minute. And we'll check it at 10 minutes, and the veggies should be good too. So everything has been cooked. The veggies cooked for 30 minutes. You see what I was talking about with the tomatoes. The salmon is really funny. I gotta show you this. So the garlic turns green when you cook it. I promise you it's fine. I promise you it tastes really good. I do not know why it turns green, but it does. So let me plate this up and let's see how it is. So this is it plated up. And I have extra veggies for tomorrow night's meal. We're making chicken. And let's just check and see how the salmon is, if it's good. It is so perfect. It does not need any extra sauce. It has so much flavor, and it is so simple. If I can get this bite, it's so simple and so easy. Very good. So it's really good. I know the green, it's not appealing, but my husband was just telling me that it is some sort of a chemical reaction. I'm scooting his plate away from him towards me because I told you in the beginning, he does not eat fish, and I have been making fancy sauces for him. Look at his plate versus my plate. He said it's really tasty. So just ignore the green. I promise it tastes good. Okay, y'all. This is my tiny little garden. I have planters with tomatoes. These are the ones I couldn't remember the name of, but I need to pick these. Every time I come out here, I don't bring a bag, and then I have to go back upstairs and get a bag. So they start off trying to find one that's like, they're almost completely black, and then they start to turn green, and then they turn red. And I have the name here. The nails are not chippy anymore. Let's see. Oh, and a vinca grew in here because I had vinca in here last year. So these are midnight snack cherry tomatoes. These are really good. And yeah, you can see like it's not doing so great this year here. Okay, this I went berserk and bought 4 parsley plants. I don't know why, but I did, and there they are. And here is the garlic chives that I told you my girlfriend got for me. And then there's 1, 2, and the third one there. These are basil, and again, at the beginning of the summer, I decided I didn't have enough. I had bought these 2, and I went back and I got this one. So, oh, it smelled, just touching these, it smells so, so, so good. This is where the zucchini was. I had bought 3 plants because they just weren't doing anything, and all 3 looked like they were dying. And this one has just come back, so I'm excited about that. This is tomatoes. I'm trying to think of what they're called. Patio. Okay, I can see the little tag. So these don't, this is as tall as I am, and you can see I'm taller than this bush. So these are great for containers, and there's a lot that I'm about to get from here, and it was just not doing anything for a really long time. And this one is huge and rambling. This is just a plain cherry tomato. I need to come back down here with a bag. I hope I'm not getting eaten by mosquitoes. I should show you all my legs, but I'm not going to. They are eaten alive. So there's that. And then this was my yellow squash. And this plant, I only had 2 of these. And oh my gosh, what is that? Do you see the flying thing? What is that? Okay, just stay away from me, whatever you are. Oh, you're a wasp. Oh, that's scary. Okay, so that one has completely died. This one has come back beautifully, as you can see. And I'm going to get a lot more squash, and it's kind of getting in the way over here of the peppers. So the peppers have done terribly all summer, and we're finally getting some really good ones. And so I thought I bought red, yellow, and orange. Let's see if you can see that one. And apparently all peppers are the same, and the longer you leave them on, the ripest one is the red. I'm trying to show you that. The least ripe is the green. And so it goes green, yellow, orange, red in terms of sweetness. And there is the chives again. Look, like I have never seen these garlic chives, and they are really, really good. And I think something just landed on my back. Oh my goodness. Do you hear the tree frogs and all the bugs? Oh my gosh, it is so humid. I had no idea that that flower had grown there. Okay, I'm going in, getting a bag, picking these tomatoes here before I get eaten alive. I have my hose out, which I don't need out because we've had so much rain. Okay, so for lunch today, this is all the salmon that I could eat. I promise you, it is okay. I've already explained it is a chemical reaction from the lemon juice with the garlic and then the high heat of the oven. This is my favorite lettuce. I'm just gonna use this, and then I'm gonna warm this up and put some of my cherry tomatoes around that. I'll show you that in just a moment. For dinner tonight, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is one of the most unattractive looking meals that I make, but it is so tasty. And it is pouring rain, and I hope I can get out to my garden to get some parsley, because it needs parsley to be pretty. Do y'all remember the cookie jar? I don't know, I probably posted it on Instagram. I don't know if I ever showed this, but this is one of the things that I took when my mom passed. My dad asked what I wanted. I'm like, I want that cookie jar. And there is a story behind it. I scooched this somehow at 2 years old. I don't know how, because I wasn't a very tall 2-year-old. And do you see the cracks there? It's very, very old. I don't keep anything in it. I busted it on my face and my whole lip was bleeding. My mom took me to the ER, and I didn't get in trouble for trying to snitch a cookie. So anyways, let's get to the recipe. You're gonna need a crock pot. I am using the chicken thighs from Costco. There's some chippy nails going on here. These They sell them fresh and I cut them and then freeze them. You do not have to use thighs. I don't know how much this is. I just buy a package at the grocery store before I did Costco. You can use a package of chicken tenders. You can use chicken breasts. You can use pork chops. The original recipe for this called for pork chops. I would not use bone in. We did use bone in a couple of times. And I think because it cooks for such a slow time, I don't know, but the bones actually kind of shredded and they were fragments. And yeah, you don't want to be choking on no bones. So we just like the flavor best of the thighs. And a lot of you asked about this. It is just a slow cooker liner, and it just so you don't have to clean up. And so here's what you're gonna need besides your chicken or whatever your meat. A crock pot, it does not have to be science. It doesn't really matter how much meat you put in there as long as it fits in your crock pot. So if you have a larger family, you know, add more, whatever, it really doesn't matter. So we're gonna need 1 cup of chicken broth, and I'm gonna mix that with a can of cream of mushroom soup and a package of brown gravy. Try to say gravy and brown together. And then this I don't even measure. I just pour in some chopped onion. I pour in some granulated garlic, and it calls for 1 package of ranch seasoning. And so I just look on the back of this and I think it's 2 tablespoons. So we're gonna get all of this in here and mixed up, and let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so I totally misspoke. I forgot, we bought the wrong chicken thighs. I prefer, and so does my husband, boneless, skinless. When we were at Costco, it was a Sunday morning and we were looking at the chicken, and some man actually wedged himself in between us. And I grabbed these, I'm like, this is it, let's go. These are bone-in, skin on. So we will see, I'll let you know what it turns out like. Did I make this with these already? I've made something with these already, but it's been a while. It's gonna come out fine, but I would prefer not having the skin on and not having the bones in. It's so funny because when my husband was walking out the doors, I was about to make this. He's like, the thighs again? I'm like, you love this recipe. He must have remembered that we bought the wrong ones. So this is just the brown gravy mix, the cream of mushroom soup, 1 cup of chicken broth, and I'm just gonna sprinkle in some granulated, or chopped onion actually, then granulated garlic, and then I need to measure this, which I cannot do with 1 hand. Okay, got that all in there. I'm just gonna give it a stir. I find a fork works better, especially with the cream of mushroom soup. You know, that stuff just doesn't really like to mix in very well. So get that all going. You don't need any salt. You might want to pepper it, but I love salt and I don't salt this. So then just gonna pour this over the top here. Go. Now, do not forget to turn it on. I told y'all I did that once. I made the whole thing, whoops, and did not turn it on. So get the lid on there and turn it on, and we're going to cook it on low for 6 hours. The rest of the chicken broth I saved, and I'm going to make some egg noodles to go with it tonight. And then the only thing you have to do with this one is about 30 minutes before you want to serve it, you're going to mix 2 tablespoons of cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of water and just make a slurry and put it in here so it just thickens up. And it's not pretty, but it's so, so, so yummy. So I like to just mash it up before I put it in the microwave to heat it up a little. I've never had it turn blue before. I've had it turn green many, many times. So if that just completely freaks you out, because my husband was like, I'm like, trust me, it's always green. He ate his entire piece. It's so flavorful. But if that freaks you out, instead of using fresh garlic, you can always just sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder on the top. The lemon juice, You really need it, and you really need the garlic too, because then there's no sauce to make. And like I said, I have been making sauce, salmon, and sea bass and different things for him, and I just wanted to go simple. So if that bothers you, just a little garlic powder. And that is it, and it's a lot prettier when you shred it up and you can't see the green on it. So it did stop raining long enough. I was able to get out to the garden, so this is going to be a pretty dish now. I got Italian flat leaf parsley and some more of that garlic chives. So it's getting close to time to, ooh, there's some steam to serve this. So I have the 2 tablespoons of the cornstarch here with 2 tablespoons of water, and I'm just gonna drizzle that on the top. I'm gonna wait 30 so minutes. It really doesn't matter how long you wait. You just wanna see how it's very liquidy. That will kind of turn it into a thicker gravy. Okay, so I have chopped up the parsley and the chives, and I have the water boiling for the egg noodles, and we should be serving pretty soon. So the egg noodles that I like to use are the no yolks, some of these, and this is the vegetables from last night that are left over, and that is what I'm going to serve with the chicken. So it's almost ready to serve, and I just want to reiterate with this meal, when you're cooking with a crock pot or anything like that, it's not science like baking. Baking is my #1 thing. I'm very good at baking, but you need to be precise. You can use, like I said, any kind of meat that you want. If you don't like garlic, onion, and ranch, you can put in any seasonings you want. Let's say you hate cream of mushroom soup, you can put in cream of celery, cream of chicken, whatever you want. You don't like egg noodles, you can use white rice, brown rice, anything that you want. This is not science like baking. Eventually I might bake for y'all. I'm really good at baking. Okay, so I made a little bit too much pasta, but we'll just put it in a Tupperware and it'll all be good to go. Let's just see if the chicken is tender. Oh yeah, do you see that? Yeah. Okay, let me blow on it for a second and take a bite. And again, I would have really preferred boneless, skinless. You can see some skin right there, but just not gonna eat that. So let's try this and see how it is. It's really, really good. And this will be amazing leftover too. All right, y'all, so thank you for taking the time to join me today. I hope you enjoyed some of those recipes. I am by no means a chef, and I am a very, very simple cook. And let me know if you liked this one. I was thinking of doing one with like my favorite cold summer salads. I have some other ideas like that. I have kind of been thinking, not a lot, but a little bit about what I want to do on this channel, and I'm just gonna do whatever I want. And today I felt like sharing cooking videos. So just let me know what y'all think, and if you think I should do some more, or if it was just boring and you don't want to see anymore. So I hope you have an amazing day today. Take care. Bye-bye.